Howdy. Yeah, so here we go. That's me, Mathew Holdgate. We're going to talk about GPS and GIS being used to improve welfare of zoo elephants. So by training, I'm not a GIS guy. I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about half the time, but I'm a zoo and wildlife person. So I worked for a couple years at a zoo. I worked for Fish and Forest Service and some government agencies doing wildlife surveys and got to use some cool technology. You remember the telemetry wands and things like that, bait station cameras. They're implanting transmitters in fish now, and there's lots of cool stuff out there. But as far as elephants go and GPS, well, they've been doing it a few years in the wild. It ain't an easy job, you know. You got to know how to anesthetize these things, and it's a little dangerous. Poachers and madness out there. But they brought in some really awesome data that's been used. So they use that kind of GPS data to make park boundaries for elephant sanctuaries. There's this system where these problem elephants that go in and raid the locals' farms, if they get close, they'll text message the rangers, and they can go and kind of scare them off. So lots of cool stuff out there. Why do we care about zoo elephant? This is a fat elephant. You guys can probably tell that without any background. And that extra weight on their feet, they actually kind of walk on their toes, if we could see that. So we assume if we can get these elephants moving, give them a bigger exhibit and a nice big herd like the wild, they're going to stay active. But for all we know, they've been standing there for 8 hours and they're not moving at all. So the question is, how do we quantify this movement? A couple of zoos have looked at this in their zoos before. They use these custom-built leather anklets with a GPS unit and an accelerometer. But we want a bigger data set, right? Here are the 84 elephants that have so far worn this system. Each of them had this thing going every 5 seconds for 5 24-hour periods. That's about 2 million data points that are sitting on my $200 laptop right now. So that's a challenge. Lots of challenges. Getting these to fit the elephants, of course, was a pain in the butt. We're working with 50 zoos, 2 elephants each, so lots of networking. The other problem is some of the elephants like these and some don't. So over here is about $200 worth of equipment that just passed through this elephant's GI tract and came out the other side. Shame. I was okay with it till it happened about 15 more times. So this, I have a pile of something that looks like this in my house. Zoo elephant don't care about your budget. They don't care about your data. They do their own thing. Bad elephant. Of course, we have technical issues as well. Ionospheric effects and clock error and that kind of thing with GPS units is pretty well understood. People are getting better at kind of accounting for that so you don't get too much error. But what I thought would really kind of make my data so easy would be the number of satellites and their geometry, these dilution of precision values. Oh, you just kind of pick a threshold and get rid of everything that doesn't fit. As soon as you start looking at the data, you realize all that is like crap. You get these points way out there, and they have great values. What we think is going on is a lot of multipath effects. You get these bouncing signals off elephants, their barns, and each other. And the other situation you get is you got to decide, if I'm setting this every 5 seconds, we're getting a real nice, accurate measure of where they're going specifically, but every time that elephant stands still, you're getting error every 5 seconds, just a little bit, and it starts adding up. So, we asked the elephants to draw it out on a map, and they were no help. You can, we're looking at pedometers, maybe rangefinders, some way I need to verify that when Q-stars tell me this thing has 1.5 meters accuracy, is that true in the exhibit too? But, I'm no chump. I can use ArcMap like you guys, make cartograms and that kind of thing. So we're looking at how the elephants are using a specific exhibit. Where do they spend their time? But we really want to know is we got these 50 zoos, and they have all different size exhibits. How can we best promote the welfare of these animals, keep them moving, keep them healthy? How big does the exhibit need to be? How many elephants should be in there? And it's something that zoos are really committed to, and committed to helping give me money to figure this out. So that's my time. I got a couple advisors at the zoo in Portland State University, a few GIS folks who've been really supportive, my funding agencies, and zoo visitors who are really counting on us to do our best for the animals, and we hope GPS is going to do that.